Greetings, everybody. Okay, we are here for the August 2023 energy update. And as I always say, I can't believe it's August. I can't believe another month has gone by. It's been personally a rough summer, actually a really rough year. But I think many of you can relate to that. But it's all about this upliftment, is what they keep saying. They brought a few words in for me already, and regarding where we're headed. And remember, we have Lionsgate on August 8th. And we're moving into that energy now. And they keep talking to me about how it's of upliftment, but that it's going to be tumultuous. So, they just said riding the wave. Okay, I guess we're getting right into the channeled information. But first, what I want to do is introduce myself. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Carolyn Zaiser. I'm a channel, I'm a spiritual awakening mentor, and I'm a distance energy healer. And I channel the Light Keepers, who are a group of angelic beings, for your spiritual life journey. So I hope you find the information helpful. I also offer poetic messages that they bring through, hundreds of them, through my Facebook page, Purple Rain Healing, or you can also follow my email list or join my email list through the link below in the description box. And that will give you a supportive message for the week coming up, always on Fridays. So again, that's where the poetic, or I'll just say the poems, show up for you. But they also bring information through me, and that's who I channel as we do these videos. So these energy updates, they always link to the previous ones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of launch into that connection. As you know, July has been, there's a lot of what we talk. I actually kind of did part of this video in my last video, because what they were showing is this vacuum we're in right now in July. But it's this blender. It's the same thing. So they give a lot of metaphors, right? So they have the blender for July, and depending on what kind of fruit you put in, if it's all frozen and hasn't been processed yet, it's going to sound really loud and it's going to maybe spit out. Think about our journey, right? What we've processed. And then as we blend, things get easier, but also things are moving faster. So the blender is a perfect metaphor for what we're going through, particularly in July. We're very much in this, they just said gateway. Well, this is the gateway coming up. Okay, so what, I'm just going to share with you what they're showing me. So they're showing the earth energies coming up and out for clearing and processing, which we often will feel, as I already explained how I do. Some of us will be processors for that in one way or another. The other part of this that we have is we have they just said the gateway opening up, of higher consciousness. Okay, so this is key. Oh God, I have chills. So the gateway of higher consciousness is opening up, but what it's doing is creating this vacuum in the space-time continuum, in our reality space, and we are feeling this. Now, everybody's different in how they're going to feel it, but what they're showing, like they did this last time, they're showing this space, the in-between here, being almost, and they're showing astronauts floating around, kind of like it's just this slow motion kind of thing. It doesn't feel like we're stuck. It's this blending of these energies, the clearing of these energies, but also the opportunity for what's coming in from the divine light to join in with these healing, or with these energies that need healing, but it's a space that we're in. I don't know if that's making any sense, but so right now what you're probably potentially feeling is a lot of, I just heard the word discernment, that we're discerning now even more, okay, as to what serves us. That makes sense. Discerning, also discerning our energies, body, discerning as to what takes us forward individually. We also can very likely be feeling now, and this is going into August as well, they keep saying tumultuous. It's going to look different in everyone, but in the collective manifested, we kind of already know what is happening out there and what that looks like. I'm going to keep talking about that, but the on the ground manifestation, it's this pulling apart, it's the acting out, it's all of that. Many people will struggle with the energies that are coming in, and it will process through them in the way that is needed for each of them to, they just said to come into greater, fuller awareness of their journey. Remember, everybody's going through this. They're just not consciously aware like we are, right? which can be disturbing because we don't understand, because they won't necessarily understand what's happening. All right. But anyway, my point in this is we're all experiencing this. We're moving into more tumultuous energies. Lionsgate is okay, they just said the spitting out. Oh, they just said send it. Send it. Okay. Send it. All right. So let me see what else they say. Oh, they're talking about riding the wave. I wrote this down earlier. Riding the wave. And riding the wave, sending it. Okay, I don't know if you've heard the term send it. Like when people, I don't know, ski and they ski off a cliff, send it. Or they're, just send it. Like you're on a bike and you gotta send it, right? But what they're alluding to here is we need to join in with this, right? Not just let it happen to us, right? Join in, be the, okay, they just said the star catcher. Okay, the star catcher. Oh, the Avenger of your dreams. Okay, so think about the Avengers. If you watch any of the Marvel comics, I know it's kind of all over the place, but they're giving a lot of metaphors. Those Avengers, they just grab onto it and they go, right? So what we want to do is be able to grab that star, okay, and ride it. Grab that gold ring. Grab what's in front of us. It's gonna feel highly energetic. You're shifting and changing. Your cells are shifting and changing dramatically during these times, right? We have higher consciousness energies coming in. We have to take those. They come into us, right? They're coming into us for our greater good. But what you want to do is grab onto them, okay? Participate. Be the priestess, all right? In a metaphorical sense, be the priestess, all right? Be the priestess that you are. Or be the mystical, magic mystic that you are. Be that, in that strength. And yes, our bodies are going through shifts and change, which also means our minds may be doing that as well. Many of us will have interesting thought processes going through us, bodily functions, energy running through us that we may not understand. Because remember, okay, heightened times, and this is why we see what we're seeing out there in the collective. We're bringing in more divine light, all right? And when we do that, that breaks things down. It's of beauty and light for our growth, but it breaks things down. Anyway, that divine light's coming in to break down the energies of, okay, they just said distraction, of disturbance, of sadness, of the traumatic times, all this earth energy, right? All the things that we've been going through. So this divine light is pouring in, and it's coming in through a gateway is what I'm getting. You know what? I think, even though it's, for some of us, what I will say is that we get the precursor. Okay, so we start to see this and feel this and process this for the collective. There are a number of us who are aligned with very, very upfront, like we take the hit first, and then that kind of dissipates some of the, what I will say, the power of the wave. They keep talking about the wave, the power of the wave that will come through the rest of the collective. So some of us may feel that way, that we are already experiencing what we're going to experience in August. But what this is Lionsgate. This is the gateway. This is the gateway. These energies are opening up now. Where we're going to probably feel them most is August timeframe. And, oh my God. Oh, they just said light streaming in. This is what I'm saying too. Light streaming in. So remember, with your human eyes, if you're new to my channel messages, with our human eyes, we're not necessarily going to see this. Many of us are going to feel it. We're going to know it. We're going to have knowings. We're going to have understandings. We're going to put two and two together when we see things out in the collective and go, okay, get it. I get it. Yeah, this is how this is divine light is interacting. This higher consciousness light is interacting because we're ready as a collective to step it up. They just said step up your game. Okay. So what they really want is this grabbing onto the gold ring, grab onto the star, embrace this, send it, all that. And standing in our power, right? Not a like, oh no, I'm not going to take this energy, but more of a, yes, this is here for me. How do I use it within me? How do I participate with you? How do I embody? They just said embody this. Okay, so so this is upliftment energy. They're going into that upliftment energy. But what we're also doing during this time now, and again, it's not just a date cutoff. It's kind of it's spread out. Not everything happens all at one time, because it couldn't, because the collective couldn't handle it. So there's been this trickle effect all this summer up to Lionsgate with these energies coming in. Like I said, some of us that are frontliners, right, are learning to process this energy and getting big hits first, right? So it's trickling in. We're coming into Lionsgate, and that's when the big energies will start to show up for the rest of the collective, okay? We're going to see a lot of shift and change in the collective. Again, I'm not going to go into what I think that actually looks like right now. If something comes in, I'll share it with you. But they always talk about politics, though. They just said the words game changer. Oh, they just said something's coming up that's going to be a surprise. In August, it feels like, at least I think in August. Sometimes when I get this information, I read energy. For those of you who don't realize that, I read energy and I receive information around that. But sometimes it's later. But anyway, okay. Where was I? Okay, so that trickle-in effect is happening, has been happening all summer. But one of the big things is that you can participate in, that you have been participating in, whether you know it or not, is up to Lionsgate. It's kind of like a door opens and closes in many ways. All right. So what many of us are doing right now is closing things out. Again, this is kind of a continual process, but there's been a lot of this, of relationships coming back to you. People you haven't talked to in ages are coming back, and there's purpose in that, for either to close things out because the door was still open. Remember, we talked about this. The door is still open. These are finishing things off. Now, that doesn't mean we won't do some of that down the road, too. I mean, it's not just a one and done, and we know how this works. We tend to repeat the process over and over again. But what I'm getting very much for this year, because of the year of creative expansion, for us to be able to continue to expand in this divine light that's coming, we're shutting doors. And it's not metaphorical either. Well, that's a metaphor to the reality that's actually happening. So it may be very simple things you're shutting doors on. How you treat yourself. It's not really simple, but I mean, you know what I'm saying. It's like within you, how you treat yourself, the way you talk to yourself. Maybe some of the practices that you have. You've realized, wait a minute, this doesn't serve me anymore. I don't like doing, this any longer. I'm not going to do this. This doesn't serve me in my new way of being. It may also be relationships that you've had in the past, because relationships are one of our biggest tools for learning, right? Biggest platforms. So if you have open doors from past relationships, these are opportunities we've had now this summer leading into Lionsgate to work on what it means to close things out for you. Okay? What does it mean to close things out? Not letting things dangle and just hang out there, because guess what that does? That creates, Okay, they just said you're trapped in the vortex of that energy. So it's kind of like it just keeps doing this. Like you're just there. You're just there. But what we want to do is shift that energy. Okay, now maybe you're not able to even see that person, right? But there's something going on. They're coming back in your memory, in your mind's eye. What is it that you can do internally to sit in some quiet space, in some kind of meditative way, some kind of breathwork way, and bring in their higher self? You don't have to see them. You don't have to, however that works for you, feel their energy, bring their memory back, and be able to process through that. Maybe you're going to have a conversation with them. Maybe you're going to just feel the feelings you've had and be able to release those. Really going deep on those kinds of things. We've been doing this, but what I'd say to you is it's a really good process if something's coming up for you now. Because what we're doing is like I said, we're shutting doors, closing doors, finishing things up. Because we have to, right? We don't want to take that old stale energy into the new earth, right? And so what we've got is all this divine light coming in, allowing us to open up our consciousness in August is what I'm getting. I am not seeing past August. I'm just going to tell you, I think there's purpose in me not having anything else. Lots of times I'll do this thing of like, oh yeah, here's the rest of the year, but I'm not getting that right now. So remember too, these divine energies impact the earth. So she's doing the same thing that we are. All right. She's doing the same thing that we are. Or you could argue we're doing the same thing she is, but it's a clearing and cleansing and healing approach to this. So everything we see out there that is happening weather-wise, earth-wise, this is all the same thing we're going through. So keep that in mind. Send her love, send her light. Sit in her distress. I don't mean you have to feel that, but respect it, feel it, know it, and or feel it in the sense of giving her love and light, because we are that conduit for the divine light. All right, we're the conduit for the divine light. I think I've mentioned this before. to go into the earth to help heal the earth, to assist the earth. And yes, she has her own processes, but we are incredibly important to this process. And when we have a clear system where our chakras are moving nicely, we've been, doing our self-care, all of that, we become a stronger conduit for the light. Okay, so we've got a lot of that divine light coming in now. You're going to see continued, again, it's kind of a continued story, but tumultuous times, but at the same time, you're going to know, even though it might feel off, and we're all at different places. Remember, we've all done our healing work, our journey work, our, going deep into ourselves, deciding what serves us, what doesn't serve us. And a lot of these things are, again, cleaning out the dust in the corners. So you're going to feel this potentially very much in your body. Be aware of that. Again, that's self-awareness. We are moving into, like I said, and they keep wanting me to say this, a place of higher consciousness, an opportunity for that. That energy's coming in, and that's why we're going to see what we're already starting to see per my last video, because I was given kind of a precursor to what we're seeing in August, is this like vacuum, but what we're going to be in it is, it's almost like you're, okay, so they're showing the blender again. It's almost like you're in this blending process. Okay, because you have to have integration, right? So we have that integration. We're all going to get spit out. This is so funny. They're showing this. All of us kind of like, they keep saying, send it. Send it. Like, go for it. Like, participate. You're in it. You're in it. You're sending it. And off you go out of, like, Lionsgate is what they're showing. So here we are, Earth energies, like I said last time, and all the things happening here. Earth herself. We have the divine light coming in. This new gateway opening up, and these are colliding. They just said colliding. These energies are colliding into this vacuum. And this is where we have this opportunity to integrate and move this energy forward, but we are that energy. We're the divine light energy. We're embodying more and more as our cells are shifting and changing, and they want us to send it. Oh my gosh. So this is embodying the power that you know that you are, where what we've been doing for so long is, and again, we're all at different stages. So those of us who are ready for this, what we've done is our work. We've done our embodying. It still continues, but for a major portion of like who we are and our work has mattered, right? This is where okay, they just showed the Avengers again, the Marvel comics. Like, okay, they just showed Mary Marvel, Captain Marvel. You know how she shoots up? Like, there's that visual of her legs up, and she shoots up. That's what they're showing me. And they keep saying, send it. They want you to really participate. They want us to participate. Like, not just participate a little bit, like, go for it. Go for it. Whatever that means for you. If you're sitting in trepidation, wondering, gosh, my passion and my desire is this, or I really feel like I want to reach out and start this, or I really feel like I want to shift and change this, or I need to do this for myself, then we need to do it. We need to do that work. And this is the energy that's going to allow us, it's going to work in tandem with us in August. And we got to be ready though, right? So again, this is all different levels of, it's a continuum. Not every single person on Earth is all going to have it happen in August, right? You need to know that. Wherever you are, you're meant to be. But the point is, it may be after the fact that you're going to notice this. Because it does stream in. It comes in, well, okay, they just said this to me because I've said this a time before, is that we all receive what we need, right? And when we need it. But it's going to start becoming, it's already starting to become available to us. August is huge. Lionsgate is huge. Again, don't worry about, on this day, the whole door shuts and I never have opportunity again. That's not the way it works. Okay, it's opened up already, started to. It's kind of like this is what they're showing me. Oh my gosh. Okay, so they're showing me like an old castle, right? Like where they have these huge gates, massive gates, and they're like, crank, right? And it takes hours to open the whole door before you can get in. That's kind of the way this works. It's a slow release, and then it's here, and then we go through our process individually, embodying that, and that allows us to move forward. So I do think many of us are going to see that we've been working on are going to see things. Oh, they just said come to fruition. So I don't know. I'm just going to use this as an example. Maybe things you've been working on and you've really been arduous about this in the year of creative expansion, which is 2023. Now you're going to see things. Oh, God, I just got chills. Really manifest. Whoa. Okay. Okay. I think there are a lot of us that are going to see things really manifest for us or start to, right? Rather than it just being an energy or an idea. And it's all good. This is all good, but I still want to tell you, remember, what you don't want to do is get dragged into what you're seeing out there. Okay? Everything has to break down before we move into what I'll just call our new earth. Now remember, when we talk about the new earth, we're always going to be shifting and changing to higher consciousness. This kind of doesn't end, all right? But we already are seeing in our own individual journeys how things have shifted and changed, and that's a continuous process. But we have points in time where there are cosmic energies, there's cosmic opportunity, the stars align as such, those of you into astrology understand this, where we are now moving into these great times of expansion, okay? August is huge. I think we will look back on this year. Okay, they just said with new eyes. You know how it is when you get into the future, you look back on certain times that you didn't really realize then, you kind of knew, but you're just swimming in it. You're going to be able to recognize that this was a big year for expansion. Now, that should look like that for you individually as well. But this is a big time. This is a big time for us moving forward. So what else do we want to talk about today? I don't know. Do we want to, again, whenever I give anything that sounds like reality or on the ground activity that's going on in humankind, what we always want to remember is what we see may not manifest in August, as an example, because it's energy that I read and that I see. They'll bring it in for this time frame, but it may unfold in the later months to come. Okay, I just heard the words game changer. And they keep bringing politics in, but it's whether you want to believe it's important or not, I have my perspective on that, but it is what it is out there in the collective. I keep getting game changer, shifting and changing. And remember, the biggest thing I want you to remember is whatever you see out there, this awakening journey, this ascension, is a grassroots effort. It's the common human making the difference. They told me that the first couple months I woke up overnight. I didn't have what I thought was an intuitive bone in my body until the next day when I woke up. And then it all just flooded in, and it's like it never left me. It was the strangest thing. But anyway, I have had a warp speed awakening. The point being is, what they told me is one of the first channeled pieces that I've received, and then is also very common for my sessions, is that reiterating the fact that this awakening journey is a grassroots effort. All this distraction over here happening, let them be distracted. We're over here doing our work. We're over here doing the awakening. The common human, me sitting here in Iowa as a very average American, right? Doing my thing, sitting here in my house, doing my thing. That matters. It's coming from the common human. This is not a top-down approach, is what I'm going to tell you. This is a bottom-up. It's bottom-up across the world. No wonder light workers are all over the world in all different locations, and we often feel lonely in our journey because it's like, who else is around that knows anything about this? And as we start continuing our journey, we find our tribe, we start meeting people who are like-minded, and that's where that energy connects. We're then physically linked. Okay, so we're creating this web, this network. We're all over the world. We're grassroots level, almost like we're invisible in many ways, if that makes sense. We're not, but I mean, they just gave me an example. Oh, okay, do you know what mycelium is? Jeez, couldn't they give something easier? Mycelium is the underground network of fungi, I believe. Underground network, okay, of life, they just said. Everything that makes everything interconnected. That we're like the mycelium, is what they're saying. Look at mycelium. We're like the mycelium. That makes so much sense. We're invisible in many ways. We're doing our work, but we are electrifying. God, I have a lot of energy around me now. That is a lot. Okay, so Trying to see if there's anything else that we really want to know. Okay, so the primary advice is ride the wave. It's gonna be tumultuous times. Lean into the energy you feel. Lean into your self-care. I know some of this is repeat, but really, honestly, once you get your stability on how you handle these things, the energies may feel different and you may react differently, but you're going to have your practices. Similar to what I just talked about in my last video. Because I'm not the only one having this happen, so just keep that in mind, right? We feel energy. The more we become open, the more we're going to feel it, but we will become that conduit of that energy into the collective and the earth. So as far as anything else that may be going on, of course, we will continue to see Earth clear and cleanse herself, and that's just part of this journey. Collective expansion, they're talking about, awareness, and I don't even remember what the words were that I used with, we're going to be surprised by something, or we're going to see something. Something's going to come to the surface, okay? I think that's it. I think we're going to leave it at that, okay? Just because we're not looking too much into the future right now. We're looking at August. So keep your self-care going. Reach out if you have any questions, obviously, through the comments. I'd love to hear what's been going on with you. Additionally, what I would say is just send it. Take it and send it. Embody it. Bring it in, be a part of this, and do it with joy, and do it with comfort of knowing there's nothing to fear. Even when energies enter our bodies and are assisting us and we're assisting them, we just have to have the process to move through it, okay? And remember, I offer services that assist you in this journey, so please feel free to reach out to me through purplerainhealing.com. If you're interested in learning more about my services, you just want to chat about that and kind of get a sense of that, I do offer a 15-minute complimentary consultation. I offer energy healing, spiritual awakening mentoring, and channeled messages for all of my services. So that said, feel free to reach out to me if you're feeling like you might want to take advantage of any of these services I offer. Otherwise, I think I'm going to leave that with you. Have a wonderful start of August. Lionsgate is the 8th. Again, there's no like, oh, I have to get this done by the 8th. Don't worry about that. Keep doing what you're doing, okay? Just don't turn a blind eye to the things that show up. That's the biggest thing, all right? Take time for yourself. Embody this. Have a gentle approach to this, and you're going to be fine. But we do have cosmic, divine energies, higher consciousness energies. Remember that. Coming into the planet right now. They're here, they're entering, and this is big energy time for August. So send it, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.